Hey there, welcome to the Reinsurance Podcast, the place where we dive into all things reinsurance, the coolest part of insurance. We're your hosts, Jared and Ben, a couple of ex-practitioners who loved the industry so much we founded Supercede to tackle some of its biggest headaches. And we're here to share our insights and stories with expert guests as we uncover what's really going on in the industry.
Well, welcome back to the Reinsurance Podcast, Monte Carlo Special Edition. We've actually got another video interviewer extraordinaire, far more illustrious than my own experience.
I'll stop.
In Meg from the Insurance Society. How are you, Meg? How's your Monte Carlo been so far?
It's been great. It's been great, Ben. Yeah.
And I'm hoping that you're going to help everybody sympathise with what it's like doing all these interviews, because you have been doing this not only back-to-back here this time at Monte Carlo, but for many years before that. And I'm hoping you can share with us a bit of a day in the life, or several days in the life of a journalist in Monaco.
Sure.
As we go through. When was your first Monte Carlo, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't.
No.
I don't. My first Monte Carlo was in 2000.
Wow, okay.
And
different market or same market?
I mean, it was a very different market then. And I was doing print then. So I was a print journalist at the time. And the funny thing is, you never know what will happen when you ask for what you want. I actually got a flyer about a Bermuda conference, and I asked my boss, can I cover this Bermuda conference? And he just laughed. But then a week later, he came back and said, Meg, I can't send you to Bermuda, but do you want to go to Monte Carlo? I said, yes, I do.
Yes, please.
So.
Brilliant. Oh, and then 25 years later, you're now much more on the video side, leading a lot of the interviews with the very, very senior luminaries from around the industry. How do you find that change?
So I really like doing the videos because my favorite part of my job is the interview.
Yeah.
And so back in those early days, I would do 7 or 8 interviews a day, but then you'd have to go back to the room and write to get them out for the Daily Wire service. I was with AM Best then.
Mm-hmm.
But about 15 years ago, we started to do video. And actually, I was the first journalist to do video at Monte Carlo.
Wow, okay.
And I mean, for the Reinsurance conference.
Yeah.
And I find I could cover more ground, have more conversations with the senior leaders. And then, of course, my production crew, and you have a very talented production crew too, they go back and edit everything together.
Yes.
And I don't have to go back to the room to write.
Yeah.
I can go out and network at night.
And were people media trained in those days, I guess, if TV was a new thing in insurance and reinsurance journalism, were the leaders ready for that, or was that quite a big shock? Or?
That's a great question. No, not everyone is, and even to this day, not everyone is media trained.
Yeah.
But I always found the higher up in rank they were, the better the interview. So CEOs are much easier to interview than like a junior vice president. Because that junior vice president is scared they might say something wrong, where the CEO is
candid and
and
can't
also
get in trouble.
right. And to be fair, I'm a pussycat compared to some of the questions they get from the market, from investors. I'm going to have a high level conversation with them about the market and what the company's doing, but I'm probably not going to. That's probably not fair. I mean, my Insurance Insider colleagues will get really in the weeds, but I do a lot of sponsored content, so they tend to be friendlier interviews.
Sure, no, that makes sense. In general, I suppose it's probably better to get insights out of people who are willing to talk to you rather than chasing people down the street who don't want to talk to you.
Exactly.
In any context. And going back to this year, I guess specifically then, what have been the headline things coming out of your interviews so far? What is everybody talking about?
So a casualty is still a hot issue in the market. AI and the impact of AI. Will AI generate more MGAs, MGUs? I think it will. There's a lot of talk about Europe and the UK gaining traction in the MGA, MGU space, which has been, I think, faster growing in the US. I think the UK and Europe is maybe 15 years behind the US, but gaining quickly. It's always very interesting this time of year because, as one executive said to me, the next 60 days will determine the nature of the January 1 renewals. If the wind doesn't blow, it's going to be a different story January 1 versus if a major hurricane comes through.
Completely. Although we can always be surprised, right? The wildfires that came through at the beginning of January, I mean, imagine if they'd come through 4 weeks earlier.
Yeah, but it's so interesting. So not at Monte, but I did a story with an MGA who predicted those wildfires.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So, and of course, a very tech-savvy company, a company called Delos,
Yeah.
and it's run by rocket scientists.
That's always a compelling CV to have.
Right?
In any
Very-
context.
So I think that's one of the big interesting changes in the insurance industry is you're seeing people from different walks of life getting involved in insurance. And I think back in the day it was more, actuarial. Actuaries are very important.
Yeah.
But you see, I think more people from other areas coming into insurance, bringing their backgrounds and especially the tech backgrounds, coming in and changing things.
Have you seen that change also in the types of personality you're interviewing? So as you've watched the roster of C-suite change over many years, how has that been different, I guess, to the early days? Was it all of the same cast perhaps previously and now a bit more mixed, or a more surprising trend? Or...
So, and I've said this earlier today, the reason I've been a journalist in the insurance industry so long is the people are so nice.
Okay.
And a lot of the CEOs, they're just very nice people. And you've experienced this also in your interviews.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
But I find people are willing to talk to you, and there's a learning curve. It's a very complicated industry. It takes a while to get your legs
Definitely.
underneath you. And I find most executives are pretty patient. And if they use a term you don't know, if you just ask, they're happy to explain it.
Yeah, very much. An industry, I guess, that's hard to come into from somewhere else as well. We have quite a tight talent pool of merry-go-rounds where people don't necessarily come in from the outside as often in those roles. So I suppose you probably had the joy of interviewing people who were somewhere else before and then reappeared somewhere else. Can you think of anybody this year that you've maybe interviewed long ago somewhere else? Or?
Well, I interviewed David Crum-Johnson, who's with Moreo now, and of course he was with Aegis, I think before. Yeah. But I never interviewed him when he ran Aegis. But it was nice to. He's an icon in the industry, and of course Brian Dupereau, who helped.
Of course, yeah.
I have not seen Brian this week, but I saw him last year or the year before in a restaurant in Bermuda, and he came up and gave me a hug. So it's that kind of warmth that's really
special. Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. And so as I guess you've still got 2 days to go, so good luck for the remainder of your interviews. But once we get to the end of Monte Carlo, what happens next from your journalistic point of view? The videos are done, as you said, you don't have to write them up at least, but what happens straight afterwards?
Well, I could tell you for me, I'm flying home tomorrow because I've got to turn around and get to WSAA on Saturday.
Of course, yeah.
So the next round of interviews already in the works.
Oh, I can imagine. And a different crowd there to hear, or will other people be on that same plane route with you? Or?
There'll be some coming, but that's excess and surplus lines market, which has grown tremendously. It's quite a different conference from Monte. You might have 3,000 people here. WSAA might be closer to 10,000.
Wow. Okay.
Between 8 and 10,000, let's say. It's a lot, but I'm still targeting the same C-suite companies and finding out what's going on and what's top of mind for them.
Oh, amazing. And I guess using your crystal ball and looking ahead at what might come, what are you excited about as the themes to emerge over the months and years to come?
I'm really excited about AI. I think it's going to change the entire landscape of the industry, and I don't think we really understand yet what impact it's going to have.
Yep.
But I think I think if we talk 5 years from now, then it's going to be a whole different market.
Yeah, I'm excited as well to see where it takes us and see whether winners and losers emerge sort of as a result, or if we're back here in the same setting, having watched it pass by like another blockchain. We'll find out, I guess.
We will. But what I hope doesn't change is interactions like this. You do a great job hosting people and having the conversations you do. And this
have good role models too, to say.
But I hope AI doesn't ever undermine these kind of conversations. And you hear over and over again that the insurance business is a relationship business.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that AI gives people the tools to be better at predicting risk and managing their books, but we still have these conversations.
Absolutely. No, that's a lovely note for us to end on, perhaps, as a hope for the future, despite all the uncertainty. Thank you, Meg. It's been really lovely to have you on the show, as bringing something a bit different to the podcast. And
Thank you, Ben.
yeah.
It's been a delight, and I'm a big fan, so excited to be here. Thank you.
We're glad we could host you, and maybe we'll do the same on on the Insider TV interviews at some point as well.
Yes.
Good. No, thank you again.
Thank
and,
you.
See you up in the square.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Reinsurance Podcast. If you enjoyed our show, don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a review to let us know how we're doing, preferably 5 stars. For more insights and updates, follow us on LinkedIn and visit our website at supercede.com/podcasts. You'll find the links in the show notes.